I'm here again, Allison Johnson, talking about emotional intelligence and increasing that. Remember, emotional intelligence is knowing yourself really well, being able to read other people, being great in interpersonal relationships, and controlling your own emotions and self in interpersonal relationships. Stress management encompasses all the above. So, given you 4 tips already if you look at my posts on LinkedIn, Facebook, and some other places. And they are this so far. In order to learn more about yourself and how you show up, first of all, it's good to journal daily about how you're feeling about things. What's triggered you is number 2. Especially when you get triggered and feel strong emotional reactions, whether you act on those or not is another story. But what triggers you? And then practicing mindfulness. When something does trigger you, what's going on in your brain? How do you observe what your thought patterns are? And we have automatic ones and we have reactional ones. So getting to know those is very helpful. And exercise, surprisingly, is really helpful for emotional intelligence too, because it tends to give us time to think. It just helps the endorphins in our brains, helps us feel good all over. It helps with intent, attention, and focus. And just there's nothing bad about exercise unless you overdo and pull a muscle. So now that we've been thinking about some ways to learn more about ourselves, and the next thing is to set a goal. So, in this time, if you've practiced any one of those techniques, have you noticed something that you didn't know about yourself before? And is it something that you would see benefit to yourself or others in trying to change? So, then I have one. I was with a friend for a week in Arizona this past week. I have known her for years. She's one of my besties. And you know how it is with best friends, spouse, kids, whatever it is. Pretty much you can tell each other anything, things that other people won't tell you. So, what she said to me was, stop for a second. Do you notice how often when I'm relating something, you'll interject your thoughts about it? I said, yeah, I know I can do that, huh? I'm sorry, am I doing that a lot? And she said, yeah. And I said, how does it make you feel when I do that? And she said, well, I'm not sure you're really paying attention. So, well, man, that's the last thing I want is for somebody to feel like I'm not paying attention. So the reason I do that, I know this about myself, is I have a very fast brain. And a lot of times I can fill in what somebody's going to say, and I'm right. But there's a lot of times where I may not know the full story and make an assumption. And whatever the case is, if people tend to do that, whether or not we're right is not the issue. They don't feel well listened to. Now, I want to assure y'all that when I'm coaching and I'm working with someone, I have totally trained myself not to do this. And my clients out there, if I'm wrong about that, please call me out because this is that's how my fast brain works. Is that's my thing. That is the thing I want to change in casual conversation to make sure that I'm fully listening, being an active listener, even then, not just when I'm working for people that I love. And so that is my intentional goal that I'm going to set. Now, I'm going to write it down. I'm going to put it on post it notes, which is today's tip, by the way. You discovered one thing you want to change or improve about how you interact with others, how you manage yourself, how you show up to other people. Write it down. Otherwise, it won't happen. And then put it everywhere. Put it as reminders on your calendar, post-its on your computer, put it on your dashboard, put it on your mirror. Tell other people that you trust to give you feedback. Big issue is trust there, to cue you when you either are or aren't doing something that you set an intention to change. Now, I know I need that. So I've asked my husband to say, when I do this to you, and you've always said I have, now I'm really working on it because I really get it. Just cue me. And he said, how do you want me to cue you? I said, just hold your hand up. I'll know what it means so that I can build my self awareness of when I am doing that to people in casual conversation. So, your turn. What's your one thing that you want to improve or change? Write it down. And if you want to know more, get a hold of me and I'd be glad to help you out. Good luck. And remember, everything takes time. So don't get frustrated if you keep blowing it, because it just is going to take some time to build up new habits. Talk to you next week.